Today, I am giving you guys my MVP for every single team. This is part one, the NFC edition. If you guys want the AFC side, let me know in the comments down below. But let's get right into it, starting with the Philadelphia Eagles. They have a lot of really talented players. I decided to go with Saquon Barkley. Had one of the best running back seasons of all time last year. Was the reason why the Eagles were able to succeed in both the run game and the pass game, and it elevated them from a great team to a Super Bowl winner. So I think Saquon is the right answer for the MVP. And also, guys, when I'm going into this, you could say that the quarterback is the MVP for every team. You're not wrong, but I only decided to go with QB if I thought he was well above everyone else in terms of MVP and most valuable to the team status. So, speaking of quarterbacks, we have the Commanders up next. That's going to be Jaden Daniels. I think this one was another given. The Commanders are not the most talented team by any means, but Jaden Daniels, his clutchness, his ability to get out of the pocket, not folding under pressure, that was the reason why the Commanders were as good as they were. Don't get it twisted. It was because of Jaden Daniels. I love Terry McLaurin. He's a great wide receiver, and they had some other good pieces on the team as well. But Jaden Daniels is the best player on this team and one of the best players in the NFL. Now we have the Dallas Cowboys. For me, it was between two guys, Micah Parsons or CeeDee Lamb. I went with CeeDee Lamb. I just think that he was really the only playmaker on offense for a few years now. Now that they got George Pickens, it's a little bit different. But without CeeDee Lamb, this offense would be one of the worst in the NFL. CeeDee Lamb has put up great numbers every single season, has gotten better each year, and it makes the Cowboys not seem dumb for taking him instead of Justin Jefferson because CeeDee Lamb is that good. Now we have the New York Giants. Again, another split one. You could go with Malik Neighbors, and I actually wrote down Malik at first, and then I changed it to the guy that I have, Dexter Lawrence. I think Dexter Lawrence is one of the best defensive players in the entire league. He was on pace to win Defensive Player of the Year before he got hurt, and that kind of sidelined him for the rest of the season. But he's one of the best run stoppers in the NFL. He gets to the quarterback way more than most defensive tackles do, and he's the soul and heart of that New York Giants defense that rallies around him and is elevated because of him. Now, switching over to the NFC North, the Detroit Lions. I went with Aiden Hutchinson. I thought about a few guys here like Penei Sewell, if you wanted to go Amon-Ra, or even if you wanted to go with Jahmyr Gibbs, I wouldn't have been mad at you. But I think Aiden Hutchinson, his ability to get to the quarterback, and also an above-average defensive player in the run game, I think that two-way value is way more important than a receiver's value, being able to not only take the quarterback down, but also be able to stop their run game. So Aiden Hutchinson, he was also on the MVP race before he got hurt, unfortunately, for the entire season. And, sorry, not MVP, Defensive Player of the Year race, but MVP of this team. And I think now that he's going to be fully healthy next year, this Lions team is going to be even better than what they were last year, especially when it gets to the playoffs. The Vikings, this is, in my opinion, the easiest one out of any team besides maybe the Commanders. It's Justin Jefferson. He's the best receiver in the NFL, one of the best receivers we've ever seen, and he's still young. He still can get even better than what he's already at. I think he's just hitting his prime right now, and he has had not great quarterbacks to play with over his career, and so what he's done is even more impressive. So this is easily Justin Jefferson. The Packers, another two-player debate. I went with Josh Jacobs over Xavier McKinney. I think Josh Jacobs was the main reason why the Packers were able to get points on offense. When Jordan Love was banged up, he wasn't playing as good. Josh Jacobs would take the load. He had one of the most usage running back seasons in a long time just because they needed him so much. Without him, their offense would have folded, and it would not have been nearly as good as it was. And so Josh Jacobs is going to get it for me. And then the final team in the NFC North, the Bears. A few different options again. I think it's Jalen Johnson, the corner. He's a top 5 cornerback in my eyes. Locks down your number 1 receiver. Some people think he gets burnt in man-to-man. I've watched some film on him because I am a Bears fan. That's not true. Don't let comments on Instagram posts fool you. This guy is top 5. He is a certified shutdown corner, and a reason why the Bears defense is as good as it has been in the past year and a half. Now moving to the NFC West, we have the Los Angeles Rams. I went with quarterback again, Matthew Stafford. He's the backbone of this team, one of the top 10 quarterbacks in the NFL still. And I think his ability to complete the deep ball, complete the short, accurate passes, make the right read, and be able to elevate the receivers around him makes me go with him instead of a guy like Puka or Jared Verse. But don't be surprised if it is Jared Verse later down the line. The Seattle Seahawks, this was one of the hardest ones to pick just because I felt like there wasn't really any great players for an MVP of a team. I went with Jackson Smith and Jigba. I don't feel too good about that. I think he's probably a top 20, 25 receiver. It's just the Seahawks are a team that has a lot of good, above-average players, but no truly great players. So JSN had to be my pick for the Seahawks. The Cardinals up next. This is pretty easily Trey McBride. If you want to make the argument for Kyler Murray because of his scrambling ability, because of the upside that he shows, I can understand that. But Trey McBride is a top tight end in the NFL. His ability to get yards after reception, his ability to get open, his upside as a blocking tight end, it's too hard to ignore. And he gets the credit he deserves as one of the best tight ends in the league. Now we have the San Francisco 49ers. I went with Fred Warner. They have a lot of high upside guys like Christian McCaffrey, like George Kittle, like Nick Bosa. You could have gone with any of them if you wanted to, but I think Fred Warner is the best linebacker in the NFL. At least he will be for another year. Maybe he'll start to regress once he is in his 30s. But for now, in my opinion, he's the best linebacker in the NFL. And the main reason why this 49er defense is as good as it is. Moving on to our final division in today's video, the NFC South. We have Tampa Bay Buccaneers with Mike Evans. The honorable mention, Tristan Wirfs. Because you could go either way between those two. I went with Mike Evans. He has been a blanket, as in, he can catch everything. I guess a security blanket more than just a blanket. 1,000 yards every single year of his career. And he has kind of been through it all in terms of quarterback play. He's gotten to play with the GOAT. He's gotten to play with Baker Mayfield, Jameis Winston, and everything else in between. So it hasn't been super easy for him to maintain a QB wide receiver kind of tandem. But he has still persevered. He has still maintained his success as one of the top receivers in the league. So I have to go with Mike Evans. The Falcons, this is my only offensive lineman of the video, Chris Lindstrom. You could go him. You could go Bijan. I really like Bijan as a top 5 running back. But I think Chris Lindstrom, his ability to run block and pass block, has elevated the Falcons offense to make it better than maybe what it was. Because the QB play has been downright bad the past few years since Matt Ryan has left. But Chris Lindstrom has given his quarterbacks more time to throw, has given his running backs bigger holes, and has just made this offense easier to operate for Atlanta offensive skill players. And that's why Chris Lindstrom gets the MVP for this team. The Carolina Panthers, it's J.C. Horn for me, a top 10 corner in the NFL. Would be even better if he had more support around him on the defense. He's been really a one-man show for most of his career. He's gotten better and better, and I expect him to continue to develop and become one of the best corners in the league, like I think he already is. And if the Panthers could get some help for J.C. Horn, maybe get him another corner next to him or get some guys that can get to the QB faster, I think it's a no doubt argument that J.C. Horn is a close to top 5 guy. Finally, the New Orleans Saints. This one was also pretty tough. Not a lot of great players on this team. I went with Alvin Kamara. He's been a consistent 1,000-yard from scrimmage type of guy. He has been the backbone of this Saints offense for almost a decade now. It's crazy that he's been in the league for almost a decade, but he is still producing at a high level, still having great 100-plus yard games, and he's still, in my opinion, close to a top 10 running back in the league. He's just not one of the best MVPs for a team because the Saints are just not really a great team, so there wasn't a ton of options to go with. But that is my list for every single team's MVP in the NFC. Like I said earlier, if you guys want me to do this with the AFC, let me know in the comments. Make sure to drop a like, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you guys in the next one.